epistles of Paul, then the 4 remaining Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and finally the remaining apostolic epistles. The 27 books of the New Testament were accepted exclusively as sacred by the church long before they were declared canonical by the Third Council of Carthage in 697 AD. So before they even went into what we have today, those books, the epistles of Paul, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which are the synoptic gospels, and the rest of the New Testament were accepted already before they got put in the book. So that was one of the requirements or requisites of the canonization, was that they had to have recognition. So I talked earlier about the 14 other books or other books of the Bible that were accepted. Those books were called the Apocrypha. Now, the Apocrypha are non-inspired writings that were excluded. Now, the Apocrypha, for those who don't know, is a collection of 14 extra biblical writings, including religious literature that was rejected and excluded from the canon of the inspired scripture. Now, here's just a short list of those 14 books. Number 1 was 1st and 2nd Esdras. Number 2 was Tobit. Number 3 was Judith. Number 4 were additions to Esther. Number 5 was Wisdom of Solomon. Number 6 was the Ecclesiasticus. Number 7 was Baruch. Number 8 was the Song of the Three Children. Number 9 was the story of Susanna. Number 10 was Bel and the Dragon. Number 13 was the prayer of Manasseh. And number 14 were 1st and 2nd Maccabees. But although they were never accepted as sacred, early editions of the English Bible frequently inserted the Apocrypha between the Old and New Testaments for historical reference. Now, this placement denied to them equal status with the sacred canon, and the practice was halted by protest from the Puritan church leaders in 1825 AD. Now, the Apocrypha has been part of the official Roman Catholic Bible since 1596 AD. So those books right now are in the Catholic Bible. I have a copy, and I've read it and I studied. They have those books that are in there. But why was the Apocrypha rejected as inspired? Well, the Apocrypha was rejected by the Old Testament priesthood because after the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD, the Apocrypha was labeled as spurious and was systematically destroyed by the Hebrew copies, meaning that it made confusion, caused confusion. The Apocrypha was never quoted by either Old Testament or New Testament writers. The early church believers rejected it. None of the writers of the Apocrypha claimed divine authoritativeship, and some even disclaimed it. Now, the Apocrypha contains serious errors, both theological and historical. Now, before I get into all this stuff here, I'm going to take a short break, and we'll be back in a few minutes.